final point. Obviously, wedding season's done now. Everyone's been to their weddings, come and gone.
We have one to go to.
I'm happy for you. Anyway, so
No, you're not.
wedding season's pretty much done now, right? It's September.
Yeah.
So we're happy.
Mm.
It's good. Everything's all
We are
pretty
happy.
much wrapped up now. Now,
Yeah.
destination weddings are getting bigger and bigger. And
Yeah.
obviously, people you know are just getting married more and more. We're at that age where it's all happening. It's all cracking off. Now, the question comes, if you do a destination wedding or a wedding
Right.
where you are in a place that not many people are from that you're inviting, how much of that should you accommodate for or give hospitality to? Now it's a
Are you
topic that I've seen
specifically...
because
Go on.
go on, am I specifically?
Are you specifically talking about how much should be covered financially? Is that what you mean? Or
I'm not saying financially. Actually, it could be financially, how much you feed them, etc. Because if you're like the other side of the world and you're expecting people to come out there and cover a lot of their own expense as well on top, you're probably going to get a lower return on people coming, which is probably what they're after and why they're doing it. But yeah, there is like a bit of a middle where you have to try and make things sort of match up. And I'm just thinking, is there a bit of a discussion there to be had and figure out, is there like a sweet spot that guests understand you're going to be covering them a little bit, and you understand if you want people there that maybe couldn't make it normally, you're going to have to help them get there as well, or give them a place to stay, or cover some food, whatever it is.
yeah, I think I'm just thinking about the two. I think I've been to 2 destination weddings. First one was one of my dad's friends. That was in Rome. So Europe. That was one where it's like we knew it was happening, so it was like, well, you're not just going to go for that. You're not close enough where you're just going to go for that and then do other things. You might as well make a holiday of it. So for us, it was more as a holiday, and then we're attending a wedding, so we were going to go anyway, so we didn't think about the outlay of that. What ended up happening though, actually, we had the closest hotel to the venue. Like even the family went there. We're like walking distance from the thing. So we covered that, and then obviously the hospitality at the wedding is expected. You'd have that in the UK as well, though, all the food and things. And then I had another close friend's wedding that was in Portugal. That was one of my friends from school. Shout out to Raj and Groups. And yeah, so essentially what they had done is they had signposted like, okay, this is where the wedding's going to be. This is what where we recommend you stay. These events are going to be happening, and on these events, there's going to be food essentially. And again, like there was a group of us from school, so we just kind of did organize everything else around that. There was no kind of expectation as such. But I think it's different when you're friend level as well. You don't really expect, because you're like, my friends are getting married, the focus on them. We don't want to give them stress by asking them like lots of questions and things. But I think if it's a family thing, then I think there can be expectation. So for example, when I got married, we had a few people coming from abroad, and we made like a little travel pack for them, which was, these are the venues. So you got the normal agenda. This is where you could stay. These are the average nightly rates. Car rental places, things to do in the day, like going to Birmingham and seeing XYZ. So yeah, we put a little thing together, useful information. But I know at the end of the spectrum, you're right. If you go to a far wedding, then you'd expect maybe flight. I don't think flights will ever be covered. That's quite hard to book people's flights as well, isn't it? But people have like hotel rates, don't they, like the wedding rate or something, or they'll cover a couple of nights, say the event. So actually, yeah, good point. This year we were invited to, I think it was Budapest for a wedding. Couldn't go in the end, but it was at the Ritz-Carlton. So really nice, like top level. And
That's expensive, man.
Yeah, very, very, very rich people. Yeah, I think 3 nights were covered, hotel. They were going to give us like 3 rooms, 3 nights.
Jeez.
So that, so that would have been. So I think it does depend on obviously your capacity as well. Obviously at their level, it's doable as well. And you're right. The reason why you're doing a destination wedding, if it is simply to filter out people, then you don't expect people to travel. Europe for us guys here in England is obviously much more achievable.
It is.
Went to Canada actually for a friend's wedding as well, just after our wedding. But again, we incorporated that as part of our honeymoon. So we sort everything out ourselves. I don't know. I am of yeah yeah baby stacked it. I'm of the opinion if I'm going to someone's wedding, right, and it involves me having to stay somewhere, I never want to ever be dependent on someone to stay. Like unless they're very close, right? So, for example, when my must-see's kids get married, I'd happily stay in their house, no issues, right? But unless it's super close, like I'm going to book a hotel, I want to book my own transportation, I want to know that I'm fully independent, I got my own space. When I get ready, get ready. When you want to leave, you can leave. Food isn't a thing. It's just, I've seen it where it just becomes, it's just extra work, obviously, for the host as well. And if your level of expectation isn't the same as the host, right? So I've seen it where you've got people who really put out if you were to come to them, and the same people have gone elsewhere and it's not been reciprocated. And I've seen that, like to the point where they've basically just walked out of the house and booked their own hotel. So, yeah, that's my current opinion. Just, yeah. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I'm torn because on the one hand, I can kind of see it depends on your financial capacity of the couple and the family, if they can afford it and if they can afford to obviously have you stay out there or stay with them, capacity of the house, all those things. I think negotiating a discounted rate with like a hotel nearby goes a long way, because naturally you can think of shuttle cabs going there and back. You can think of setting things up in such a way where it does that. And if you say a shuttle cab service with one company, get an idea of numbers, and maybe, I don't know, cover it for the first night, and the second night they can do it themselves, depending on how many nights there is. I think it makes it much more welcoming for guests, especially if it's in a location where maybe they're not well known, or if they're elderly. By elderly, I mean in a different country, don't speak the language. They're going to probably struggle a little bit to get around. So doing things like that goes, I think, a very long way. Because if you think about it in England, if you bring it down to if you bring it down a level and you go into a different city, naturally the groom's side would have a coach going to the venue. Coach would then take you to the party. This is back in the day, and obviously when parties and weddings were done on the same day, God, remember those days? What fucking dinosaurs. Anyway, so everything was working on the same day, and then they bring you back home, which makes perfect sense. Nowadays, that's not expected at all. It's you can make your own way there. They will have some kind of coach, but they want to know about numbers, and it probably won't be done for the second day. It's mainly just for the first day. So I understand why parents back in the day just did everything the same day, cost efficient, makes sense. It may not be as enjoyable for the couple, but it's easier to liaise everyone in a big bulk on one day. So yeah, that's my view on it. I think every couple is different. What they want to do is up to them. But I think even just a little bit goes a long way. Even if you aren't that well off, I think having a little bit, like negotiating a rate at a hotel, would make a big difference to people, because they'll be like, oh, okay, you can get a bit of a community vibe going there at the hotel. Like, oh, you're here for the wedding, I'm here for the wedding. You can get to know them, make friends, etc. All those things. It all molds really well if you do it. If you execute it well.
That's a good point. And we had a wedding in where's that place just outside of London? North Mims, St Albans. That's it.
Anyway, somewhere north of London.
Somewhere north. Well, not north. Yeah, St Albans. We had a wedding there, Shindy and I, and booked into, I think it was a Holiday Inn. It's where we were on the groom side, but all the bride side was staying there. But we'd seen them all at the civil wedding anyway, because we were close enough to go to that. So they all knew us anyway, and it was nice, like you said. So when we were coming and going from events, it was like an after party. We were just chilling with those guys. A good vibe downstairs. The following morning, the day after the final event, we had breakfast. We were all there, kind of together. You're right. It was really, really good, nice vibe. So yeah, I echo that sentiment. It was a good vibe.
There we go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and tell us if you think any different. If you think there should be more given, less given. If there's any point in doing destination wedding, should it be immediate family? Let us know your controversial, flagrant thoughts. I don't mind. I'll read them. I know Goran doesn't. I'll respond though. All right. Drop us a comment, guys. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. Yeah, go on.
You know our shared email address? You've got it synced to
Yes.
your phone, yeah, or not?
Yes.
Right. Have you read the YouTube emails or not? The comment emails.
No. So the YouTube comment emails, I don't get them. They go to like a social part of the box that I don't get notifications for.
Okay, because I get them all, and then I leave them unread, thinking that you're gonna like see them or something. There's
I
like
see them
7.
when I log into the channel, and I see them when I log into the channel and I jump on and
Got it. Got it.
upload a video, and there's like a notification there.
Perfect, buddy. I'm gonna press red to all of them now because I keep seeing it. It's annoying me. I can't have my emails. I can't have boxes showing unread
Delete them
emails.
out, man. It's fine.
That's fine. You've made my day, man. That's gonna clear me out 50%.
You're welcome.
Love it.
You're very welcome.